Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. This is another video battle report. Still trying to figure it out. And it just so happens I played a big X-Wing game and I recorded it because it was pretty cool actually. 125 points each, three-way battle. 'Twas I, Lord Tremendous of the Scum, versus Sleeping Cthulhu of the Empire, also versus General Manager of the Rebels. This was a good game, 1v1v1, a three-way if you will. And it was video recorded, so I'm trying a little something different with this particular battle report, different editing styles so that I can talk more. Yay! But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of not only the battle, but of the battle report, the direction that I'm trying to take the channel and the reports, and hopefully I can continue to make these things kick ass. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes. So here's the lists, and we have right here our Rebel Bastard, the General Manager guy, and this is just a quick view of his list. If you really need to see it that bad, you can just like pause it and read. Shouldn't be too hard, I believe in you. And here's the Empire. Same thing, just a quick look over so that you see what the list is. I'm not really going to go over it because honestly I don't care. We do have Vader, which is always bad, and you know, Rear Admiral Chiranu or whatever. And here's what you really came to see. This is I, Lord Tremendous's list, the Scum. Of course, I bring the Boba. I brought Cavill just because I thought he'd be cool. I like the unhinged astromech. I've got a Syndicate Thug just because I like the Auto Blaster turret, and I have a couple of Scrubs, both of these little Byzantine pirates. So here's the board. I know it's a little hard to see the setup, but we did like two corners, and then we did the Rebels on the front there, or up top. I'm in the bottom right. The Empire is obviously over there on the left. And right now, currently, we are just setting up the little or setting up our dials in order to get our movement phase. And I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up real quick because let's face it, waiting for us to do movement. So as you can see, real quick, I just immediately start with my one pilots, and my pirates both take off immediately. And it's just quick moves. I put focus on them, but I know nothing's going to get shot at or anything like that. Next up, my Y-Wing goes, and then I believe the Rebel Alliance guy starts going, and he just does this majestic maneuver, hard turning to the left. I guess he doesn't like scum on the table. The Empire guy goes and he moves, I think that is the Rear Admiral. I think Vader is the other ship. I'm not 100% on that. I move Cavill up, just throwing focus. I mean, really, we're just posturing and maneuvering right now for future shots and all that other crap. But for the most part, this one is just going to be a movement phase for the fun of it. And it's cool to watch, though. You know, you get to see how we're going to go and what we're planning. So that's kind of neat. Boba backs up the pirates because I'm going to try to split my forces, which always seems like a bad idea. So, yeah, really, I'm just going for targets of opportunity. Nothing more than that. And, yeah, we're about finished. Our Empire player just finishes up his last few movements with his fleet there, and then we start resetting our dials. All the focus and everything will come off, but honestly, what I'm thinking in this one is I'm going to move my pirates with Boba out front, try to get him to go after the pirates. I know he probably won't, but that's what I'm hoping, and while they're busy peeling away stuff at the pirates, I can hopefully do a bunch of damage with Boba. My Y-Wing and Cavill is, I see that the Empire guy is moving towards the Rebel Scum, so I'm really hoping that I'm able to get my ships in there and maybe take some pot shots at them in the back. The problem with these guys, not the big ship, but the two little ships, is they have like 3 agility, and if you don't know what that means, it means that for every time you shoot at them, they get at least 3 evasive dice. Plus, they can use all sorts of different, the little focus and evasion tokens to dodge your lasers and stuff. So it's really kind of hard to hit them. So I figure as many dice as I can throw at them, you know, the better. And hopefully, you know, the Rebel Scum will take notice, go after them, and then I can just, you know, backdoor action both of them and come away with the victory. But that's the plan. So round 2 is more of the same, where you start moving around. Only this one, we're pretty sure we're going to exchange some fire. I decided to send my pirates one after the Empire just to block, and the other after the Rebel Scum for the exact same reason, just kind of as bait. Boba and the Y-Wings start making their way, because I'm pretty sure that at least one of the Empire guys are going to turn hardcore right and come after me. The Rebel guy, as you can see, he started moving his stuff towards the middle, and I won't lie, that surprised me a little bit. I knew he was going to turn, but I didn't think he was going to turn like that. He pushes the limit and has a bunch of extra little actions, so I play very basic. I target lock that little guy because he's got some proton torpedoes I'd love to send his direction. And yeah, for the most part, the whole thing just kind of gets out of hand pretty quick. I have absolutely no idea what these guys are planning on doing, and it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. I get targeted a few times at checking range and whatnot, making sure he can or can't shoot at me. He gets dude out of the way. Little dangerous because he's got to circumvent that asteroid, but not impossible to negotiate. The rebel guys continue to move towards me. I think I've really put myself in a bad position catching the middle first because, well, I mean, target's the opportunity what I was going for, and all I'm doing is giving them a bunch. Boba shows up and he starts targeting stuff or just seeing what's in range and whatnot. And for the most part, a lot of things are. His big bust, the Empire's bust, shows up with the Emperor inside and takes aim and target locks Cavill, which really sucks. Or I'm sorry, not target locks him, but ends up putting some maneuver, some action thing that makes him more offensive than defensive. And since his agility is 0 anyway, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, after this last little boat moves, this is where we stand at the beginning of this one. Well, I think, no, that's not true. The Empire guy moves one more boat. And yeah, he moves, he does his thing. He's going to target lock my thug once he's done doing his little maneuvers, and then we shoot. So up first, we've got a little bit of confusion there with the whole pilots thing. Two guys measuring at the same time. I blame society. But the A-wing is actually shooting at my little headhunter, and as you can see, it is a whiff, which is always good. Thank goodness. I'm really glad he missed that shot. And then next up, I get one of the Empire ships shooting at my thug. He takes careful aim and ends up doing quite a bit. I believe he gets 2 hits and a crit due to, I think it's Vader's special rule of targeting computers or something like that. I, of course, immediately proceed to roll no evades, no focus or anything like that, and I lose all 3 shields off my guy. Right off the bat, 1 shot and shields down. Really, really bad. So right after that, one of the A-wings takes aim. I am measuring with Boba because I thought it was my turn, but it turns out there was a guy with veteran pilot or something. And he fires at my little headhunter Z95 on the right there, or I'm sorry, in the middle, and ends up just peeling off one of the shields. I think I'm able to evade one of his 2 hits, which is, I guess, better than nothing. So he eats one, which is sad, but it's just a shield. It's just a shield. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And then I fire away at Boba, I believe, at the guy that just shot at me, his little A-wing guy up front there. Yeah, he's in range band 2, I think, maybe 3. There's a little bit of a thing. I think it's 2. I think it's pretty obvious to everybody right now that it's 2. And then I pew-pew. I do my best, you know, trying to take him out. And honestly, I believe it is a complete and total flub. I roll my dice, and they all come up blank. Yeah. Nope, that's not this one. It was actually a couple of hits, and Boba gets to reroll 1 because of one of his cards, but it's a focus, which I bring over to 3 hits. And I believe I peel away his shields here. So that's actually very good. I think he's maybe able to evade 1, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's the opening shot, so it's not all that. So right here, the Emperor in a big old ship fires at the thug that was already had its shields peeled off, and he hits me with I think a hit and 2 crits, and that's awful. I am able to evade none, which is exciting, and I end up taking 2 crits and a hit. The first crit, I believe, lowers my weapon skill by 1, or I'm sorry, not my weapon skill, but the amount of offensive dice I roll on my primary weapon by 1, some sort of weapons malfunction, and the other one is turret or thrust control or something like that. I don't remember. Basically, you get a stress token, which is what I just placed down right there. So yeah, not thrilled about that at all. This poor guy is not long for this world if they keep giving him all this attention, which is sad because he's my 360 shooter. So sad. So next up, Cavill burns his target lock on that rebel scum and fires his proton torpedoes at him, which is exciting. I get 4 dice at him, and I believe I get to switch one over to a crit. And sure enough, I roll 3 hits and a focus, which, due to the card, I get to move it over to a crit. So it's 3 hits and a crit. He evades 2. He's able to dodge out of the way of 2, so he takes a hit and a crit, which just means 2 shields. 2 shields go down. But again, it's something. It's the opening shots, and that's what I'm going. So in an epic backstab, the ugly little ship shot at my Z95 on the right side, and I was only able to dodge one. So he ends up losing a shield, which is sad. And yeah, I'll have to return that favor. Next up, my Thug Life guy. He tries to return the favor of being shot at. I make a mistake here, and I think his pilot skill is screwed up. I shouldn't have thrown 2 dice, but I do roll a crit, and then he is able to evade without a problem. Yeah, he's able to evade, and that sucks a little bit too. After that, tired of the backstabbing, the Z95 fires back the ugly brown ship. I believe I roll a crit, but I think he's able to switch it over to evade because he's got this thing where he has like 4 focus on him at any given moment. It's absolutely insane. Which wasn't ideal. It wasn't ideal, but it was something. And then my other headhunter fires at the big boat thing, I believe. It's range band 3. So he would normally get an evade, but instead I think, is at 0. Or I think he's at -1 or something like that. And I think he just loses a shield, honestly. I think he just takes 1 hit and he loses a shield. So, yeah, that's something. So here we go into turn 3's movement, and I've super sped it up because, well, movement takes a while when there's 3 people playing. And for the most part, my 2 headhunters, they do K turns in order to just try to throw them off a little bit. I like to throw those guys around, have them do little ballerina acts, just in case they're trying to do something clever. On the right side there in the front, the Rebel guy didn't fall for it all. But the Z95, where he's currently at, should produce a very nice traffic jam in the middle. The Rebel guy moves up, as you can see. The Empire guy starts moving towards the center, getting his, lines of fire and everything set up actually quite nicely. Target locks and everything going down. But yeah, for the most part, we are all starting to converge into the middle. Cavill moves up just slightly and gets a focus thrown on him. The idea there was hopefully everybody shoots in front of him or starts turning to the left towards the Rebels. I was hoping the Empire was going to start turning to the left and going after the Rebels, and the Rebels were going to start turning to their right and going after them, and it didn't quite happen. Also, now that we're all kind of scrunched up, I zoomed it in a little bit so we can get a better view of these beautiful models. And yeah, as you can see, it's become a cluster bomb in the middle there. Notice I didn't swear. You should be proud. You should be very, very proud. But yeah, as the turn continues on, it's becoming quite the parking lot in the middle, surrounded by asteroids. 3-dimensional space in a 2-dimensional setting. What can I tell you? For the most part, I believe Vader moves last, and he just kind of comes in there and throws a couple target locks on and gets a whole bunch of different stuff because he's got like 3 actions or something crazy in a turn. And yeah, we are ready to shoot. So we start off strong. Our Rebel guy has a pilot skill 9 guy, special character, can't remember what he is, but he shoots at the big banana boat thing for the Empire, and he ends up hitting him 4 times. And since the Emperor's boat doesn't have any kind of dodge or evasive agility type of deal, it just soaks up the 4 shots, and I believe that peels off the rest of his shields and actually does 1 point to his hull. So with 11 hull left, this thing's not going anywhere, but it's nice to see the Rebel shooting at something other than me. Next up is Vader shooting at Boba, which actually breaks my heart a little bit. He is able to roll quite a few hits, I believe. I believe it's 2 hits and a crit in total. The Boba hitting the evasive maneuvers of leisurely listing to the left. He's able to actually evade 2 of them. So he does end up taking a crit, but it just bounces off his shields. And that's what they're for, protecting the meat. And they did well. They did well. So next up, the Rebel Scum take a shot at Vader, because you're not going to not shoot at Vader if you're Rebel Scum. And he actually does quite well. I think he's able to hit him 2 or 3 times. It's not a bad shot. Vader, in turn, is able to dodge a couple of them, and in the end, I believe he just loses a shield. He does have an evasion token on him, and he does end up having to burn it. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. He ends up losing a shield off of Vader, and all things considered, that could have been a lot worse. The Empire player was rolling quite well. So next up, the Emperor targets that little ship. The Emperor's in a big ship, and he shoots at that little Rebel Scum right in front of him. Jake something or other is his name. I can't remember his special character, or named character, whatever. And he ends up doing, I think, 2 hits and a crit to him, which is a really good shot, all things considered. He's using the reckless shots or whatever, where basically he boosts his damage output and lowers his agility, which is 0 anyway. He is only able to dodge like one, I think, so he takes a hit and a crit. So Jake from State Farm is not looking good right now. He's hurting pretty bad. Next up, Boba. He's gonna get to shoot, and he shoots at the same guy. Why not? I smell blood in the water. So I pew pew at him with the best of my ability, and I'm able to hit 3 times, which is awesome. Boba's going for that bounty, and he collects. Jake from State Farm's policy is cancelled. Oh, oh, oh. You don't mess with the Boba. So next, the Empire player fires with his other, whatever he is, bomber guy that's not Vader, at that little guy in the middle there, the little rebel scum guy in the middle, and is able to just get a crit through. He hits him twice, and he's got 2 hits and a crit. The crit slips through, and he ends up flipping the card for Stunned Pilot. And I don't remember exactly what that does. I think it's like the next time he tries to shoot, he doesn't or something. But that's nice, because the rebel guys are burning up, and I'm relatively unscared. I have a couple of shields down here and there. Okay, yeah, my syndicate thug is hurting, but I think this is actually going to turn out quite well. We'll see. We'll see. It's not going terrible for the scum. So next up, Cavill uses his focus to use his auto blaster on Vader. He gets 3 for the card, plus 1 because he's shooting at a ship outside his firing arc. So I roll 4 dice at Vader. I'm all kinds of excited. I'm thinking Vader's going down. I roll 4 blanks. I miss Vader completely. He used the Schwartz. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. So next up, the little brown ship, Kyle Reese or whatever, shoots at the Emperor's ship and is able to hit him 3 times. And since he doesn't have any kind of defense, agility, or dodge, he eats 3 more shots. So the Emperor's ship is getting pretty beat up. It's a lot of offense, it's a lot of hull, but it's got very little D. It's got no D. So yeah, it's burning up pretty good. This has been a rough turn for the Emperor. Alright, and then my little Thug Life guy fires at the Emperor fighter in front of him. I'm able to hit twice, but he's able to evade due to focus or evasion or something like that. No problem whatsoever. So basically, the shots go sailing off into the universe. Next up, my little Z95 runt shoots at that guy in the middle. I only need to hurt him once, but I'm only able to roll 1 wound, and 1 hit, and he's able to easily evade it without any problem. The other little Z95 fires at the Rebel Scum through the asteroid, takes his pot shots, and the exact same thing happens. I'm able to hit a couple of times, but with range band 3 and the asteroid and everything like that, he's perfectly fine. He's able to evade it without any worries. It's a little discouraging. All right, and so now we are in, I believe, turn 4 of movement, and yeah, it's ugly. The first thing I do is I do bumper cars with my Z95 into one of his rebel guys. Everything else, I'm just trying to maneuver around. It's a huge parking lot in the middle. You're going to see a lot of bumping and grinding, and, Rubbin's racing, so that's cool. But yeah, it's just going to be a big mosh pit in the middle. For the most part, that's fine. It's just going to be targets of opportunity all for this turn. Target locks and focus is thrown out as usual, but for the most part, my plan here was to just hopefully not be the biggest threat. I do have Boba on the field, but with everything in the middle, all the little ships shooting at everything, Vader being a real threat, Cavill missing and everything, I was really, really hoping that I would be able to just kind of let the Empire and the Rebel animosity, go after each other, beat each other up real nice, and then just kind of sweep up the leftovers. But of course, I played the opportunistic scum and villainy, so anything that I could shoot at, I would. I'm not going to let my lasers go to waste or anything like that. So yeah, for the most part, after all is said and done, I'm not upset with my setup. There's a lot of bumping in, so there's very little focus going around and stuff. I was a little disappointed that the Emperor's boat was positioned so that Boba ran into it. But all in all, it's not the worst possible positioning that I could possibly have, and I'm not upset. I'm not really upset. But that's what the board looks like at the end there, and we are gonna get into some shooting. So to get the shooting started, Vader opens up on the Boba's back end there with 2 hits and a crit. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think he peels off my shields because I just throw the one or a couple of dice. So yeah, I end up losing 2 shields out of that one. So I was able to evade one, which isn't terrible, I guess. And hopefully I'll be able to return the favor on that son of a gun in just a minute. Unfortunately for me, though, the rebel guy gets to shoot next, and he fires into Boba, and he is able to do, I think, 2 shots. I do get some rerolls because I got a bunch of enemies within range band 1, but it didn't matter, and Boba loses his final shield, which sucks. So next up, the Emperor's ship fires at the rebel guy right in the middle there. That's bumped into my Z95. I believe he's only got like 1 or 2 hit points left on him, and he's able to evade. I think he rolls like 3 evades without any kind of sweat rolling down his chin whatsoever. I think he knew he was going to roll it. I think the magnets under the table were on, and that breaks my heart. So now we get to the good part. Boba is going to open up on Vader. He's in range band 1. I got a lot of enemies around, so I get to re-roll my failed hit dice. It's exciting. It's very exciting. In the end, I'm able to roll 2 hits and a crit, and Vader tries to evade, and I believe he's only able to evade 1. So he takes a hit, which drops his last shield, and then a crit. And the crit ends up being Blinded Pilot, which is really, really cool because I think it makes it like the next time he tries to shoot, he can't. See, Blinded Pilot. So I was able to not only drop the rest of his shields, but make Vader close his eyes really, really hard and try to remember Padme, which is good, He deserves to be sad and blind and on fire. So next up, the final Empire ship fires at the Rebel scum in the middle there, Arvel, and he has been, I think he's got 1 hit point left, and he rolls 4 crits. Unfortunately, the Rebel guy was not able to dodge them all and is shot down into pieces and is removed. And I must apologize, the camera battery died at this point, so if everything looks shifted and everything, and there's suddenly a ship missing. Well, the one ship that's missing in the middle there, the rebel ship, yeah, that's because it got obliterated. He shot him right in his core. But the other ones, everything else is just kind of, I had to reposition the camera because I take it down to put the batteries back in. Long story. But yeah, that's what happened. 4 crits into a guy with 1 hull point left, and he was very dead, which was kind of neat to watch. So next up, Cavill shoots at the Emperor's ship because he's just in the forward arc there. I'm able to hit him once and crit, and since the Emperor's ship has absolutely no evasion whatsoever, he takes a wound and he ends up taking a critical hit, leaving him at 7 hull points left, I believe, which is really good. So yes, the Emperor is starting to circle the drain, and that's where he belongs, at the bottom of a hole. So next up, that Kyle Reese guy shoots at Boba, and he hits him like 3 times. They're all hits, but that's not good. That's not good. Luckily, Boba knows some slick maneuvers and is able to evade 2 of them. However, I'm out of shield, so Boba takes a little bit of damage. So that's not good. That's not good. He made the ship look cooler, but in the bad way. Next up, my little Z95 in the middle there shoots using his auto blaster turret into the Emperor fighter behind him. And since it's auto blaster and you can't dodge or you can't cancel with defensive dice, he just takes 1 shot. I believe it's just a shield, but I think it might be its last shield. Not 100% on that, but it's just 1 hit. I'll take it. And for my last shot, my Z95 shoots at Vader and actually does a hit and a crit, which is pretty freaking good. However, the Darth Vader dude, he gets to evade. He's got like 3 dice, and he evades with all 3 of the dice. It's insane how well he rolls. All 3 dice were evade. Oh, he could have been somebody. A Z95 could have headhunted Vader, but he failed, and it was still kind of funny. So we kick off round 4, I believe, 4 or 5. In the movement area here, and the traffic jam just gets so much worse. It's absolutely ridiculous. My plan here was to try to get as many of my ships out of the cluster F as I possibly could, and hopefully have a bunch of things run into my pirates. I'm going to send the 2 pirates in to just get shot at and bump into things to stop them from getting focused and stuff. But at the same time, I wanted to get Boba out of there. I wanted to get Cavill out of there. I do make a mistake with my Thug or whatever, and I slam him in the Cavill because I'm just not thinking. And then, of course, Cavill bumps into the damn Emperor's ship. So far, well, he doesn't bump in. He misses by just a little bit. But so far, my plan isn't going great. Some things are bumping into Boba and stuff, which is really good, but not everything. And in the end, though, the Emperor's ship kind of ends up staying right where he's at because he bumps into too much. But Boba is able to escape, which is kind of nice. I'm just like that, a range of stuff. So I'm hoping that I can use that to my advantage now that I'm out of the cluster and maybe take a few ships out before they can take me. So here's what the table looks like after movement, and as you can see, for the most part, everything's kind of piled up in the middle. Boba did escape. Cavill is in good position. I have a real good chance to do some serious damage. All I got to do is hope that the dice are on my side and that my opponents decide to ignore me a little bit. Well, let's see how that goes. So shooting starts off a little weak. Vader has to skip his shot because he's got blinded pilot. But I think Kyle Reese, the Empire player, fires at the Emperor's ship, and he's able to crit him once, and he gives him damaged engines, which basically treats a bunch of different maneuvers. I think like hard turn maneuvers as red maneuvers, which is fine. It's not like he's going anywhere anyway. And next up is the Emperor's ship, and well, wait till you see what he does. So as promised, the Emperor, in a treacherous act, fires at my little Z95 that's right in front of his ship in between Vader and a Kyle Reese brown ship thing. And he hits him and he crits him. And I roll to evade. I'm able to evade one thanks to the focus. And what ends up happening is the crit just gets bounced off my shield because of the focus. As you see, I just took off. And yes, so the little guy gets to live long enough to fire at Vader one last time, hopefully. So next up is the man, the myth, the legend, the Boba. And he takes careful aim at the Emperor's ship. And thanks to being able to reroll one because the enemy within range band 1, I am able to hit twice and crit twice, and he has to take them all. And it's really 3 crits because I have Greedo on Boba, which means the first point of damage that's dealt out in the turn or whatever, the damage card is flipped top side up. So in the end, he ends up getting the critical damage, and it's just enough to take the ship out. And the Boba cashes in on the bounty on the Emperor. I wonder how much Yoda paid Boba to take out the Emperor in this game. I bet it was at least $3. I'm thinking it's at least $3. But yeah, that was an excellent shot. And while I might not win the game, my trophy rack is going to be quite impressive. So next up, the last Emperor guy that can shoot fires at my little Z95 headhunter because he doesn't want Vader to get any shots at him. And he's only able to hit once, so he does 1 more damage to my Z95. He's got 1 hull point left. I think it means he finally gets to shoot at Vader. I'm really looking forward to that shot. Next up, I'm not sure which one it is, but one of the Rebel Scum shoot at my purple headhunter right there in the middle and is able to do 2 hits worth of damage. Unfortunately, my guys don't know any maneuvers, and he ends up losing his final shield as well as taking 1 damage. So both my Z95s are now down to 1 hull point. They're still in this. They're still tough little guys, but that's their job. Their job is to go in there, draw a bunch of fire so that Boba, Cavill, and my Syndicate Thug don't take any more damage. And they're doing their job quite nicely. Alright, so real quick, I forgot to shoot with Cavill, and by the time I realized it, we were already in Pilot Skill 4. My Syndicate Thug fired at the Emperor shot, or at the Empire and missed. And now my Z95 in the middle there is shooting at Vader, and he just, thanks to the focus, hit twice and crit once, which was really impressive. And I honestly thought that Vader was going down, because I think he's only got like 1 hull point left. I'm not 100% on that. But what ends up happening is that Vader is able to easily evade all 3 shots using dice. It's remarkable. It's truly remarkable. Next up, my Z95, the blue one, shoots at Vader, trying to take him out. His shot is less impressive. 1 crit, so it's a possibility, but Vader has 3 agility dice, 3 dodge dice, and is able to easily, as you can see, dodge twice. So he circled around and dodged it, and then he ran over and he dodged it again. It was disappointing. So here we are in the start of turn 5, I believe, of movement. And once again, my thing now is I've got to get Boba flipped around as fast as I can and into shooting arcs once again. Cavill, I want to come down into the middle and start doing some serious damage. I do screw up on my Syndicate Thug and end up running into the dang Emperor guy, or Empire guy. And then my two headhunters, the joke now is just trying to get any kind of shot off at Vader I can and take him out with headhunters because Boba took down the Emperor, so now I want to take down Vader because I think that would be super hilarious. But for the most part, the traffic jam is slowly starting to come away because, well, there's less ships on the table. And hopefully in the next couple of turns, I'll be able to walk away with a solid victory. Or at least, you know, some solid memories. As you can see, Boba ends up just slightly out of position, but there's nothing I can do about that. It was the calculated risk I had to take when positioning him the way I was. But this is what the table looks like at the end of movement, and now we're ready to get in some pew-pew. So we start off this shot here, well, the shooting phase anyway, with Vader firing at Boba, and he's only got 2 shots, but he's able to hit and crit, which is really disappointing. I think it's 2 hits and a crit actually. I'm able to evade 1, and it's bad. So thanks to Greedo though, both of them are basically treated like crits instead of just a hit and a crit. So I end up taking structural damage or whatever. My agility value goes down by 1 to a minimum of 0, and I also get like engine damage where any hard turns are considered red maneuvers. So unfortunately Boba might be circling the drain here, which unfortunately I'm playing against smart opponents that know better than to let Boba, you know, reposition on him. Well played, guys, well played. See? And the next shot from the Emperor, because the Rebel guy has to pass the shot because he didn't have anything to shoot at. Oh, sweet lord. He fires some sort of 4 or 5 shot proton rockets into Cavill, and oh gosh. Oh, he ends up taking off all 3 of Cavill's shields and doing a point of hull damage. It was brutal. I dodged nothing. Yeah, Y-Wings, great amount of damage. They are pigs, but they maneuver like a pig in space. Loaded down with truffles. So yeah, what can you do? Whew, really good shot by my opponent. And then next up, Cavell burns his focus to fire his blaster turret at Vader. And not the most impressive roll, but not terrible. I got a hit and a crit on him. But due to Vader burns his, what's it called, evade token, and is able to evade him. And so nothing happens to him. But, you know what, you can't fault the guy for rolling hot and using his tokens when they were available to him. So, Vader, he's not easy to shoot out of the universe. I'm trying. So next up, the Rebel Scum player takes some shots at the little purple headhunter, hits him twice, unfortunately, and due to fate, I was not able to dodge them all, and I die. And it's sad. He tried so hard. He was going to be a somebody, but now he's Vapor, and it's sad. So, trying desperately to get a little revenge, my other Z95 fires at Vader and misses. Well, he doesn't miss. He does 1 hit, but Vader's able to dodge it no problem. And then my Syndicate Thug did shoot at, I don't know, Kyle Reese, the little brown ship on the right there, and I completely missed him. So, it's not going well for Scum anymore, but not great. Probably my worst turn this game. And so with those failed shots, we go on to the 5th or 6th movement stage. I've actually kind of forgotten by now. Kind of a lot's happened. For this part, I had to get Boba back into the fight, so my objective there was to push him through. The Z95 and the Syndicate Thug, their job was to just continue with the whole traffic jam thing. And I was going to try to get Cavill into position to help try to take out Vader. Didn't really have any other intelligent ideas than that. Was really just kind of looking for anything that was going to help me just do as much damage anyway as I possibly could before I got wiped off the table, because I knew they were going to converge on Boba. I knew I had more ships than anyone else on the table, so I was in danger. Just statistically, they were more likely to shoot at me. And yeah. Also, right at the end of this whole thing, when it's all said and done, the batteries die. And so yeah, I have to get those and swap it out. So if you notice the camera angle change and everything like that, that's completely my fault. The batteries died and stuff. So, but for the most part, this is what the board looks like at the very end, and we will be ready to shoot once the camera starts back up. So now that we all got set back up and ready to go, Vader starts us off because he's got the highest pilot skill, and he's shooting at Boba. He's even got him target locked and everything like that. And unfortunately, he rolls these 3 hits. After a little bit of debate about whether or not I could even do anything to evade it, because I only have 1 agility or 1 defense die, to dodge a shot. If I dodge the 1, then I would have 1 hull point left and Boba wouldn't be dead. So what my opponent does here, he burns his target lock in order to re-roll the 2 failed hits, and he gets 2 more hits. Well, he gets 2 more focus, and he burns the focus off of Vader in order to make those 2 focus hits. And lo and behold, 5 hits. Even if I was to evade 1, Boba would still take 4. He's only got 3 left, and math says he's dead. And there he goes. Goodbye, brave bounty hunter. You got the Emperor. Rest in peace. So while the Scum are falling apart a little bit here, we've lost our fearless leader. Cavill activates, and he fires at the Emperor, or at the Rebel Scum over by the asteroid near the bottom right. I hit him twice, and he's able to evade 1, so I peel off. I think he's still got another shield, but I peel off one of his shields. So I feel pretty good about that. No one else has a shot currently. So I believe, yes, my little Syndicate thug there fires at the Rebel Scum once again. And I can shoot him through the asteroid, it's just he gets extra, defensive dice. So makes it a little bit more difficult to actually hurt him. But why not? Might as well take the shot, right? And so I do. But unfortunately, due to the dice gods not favoring me, my Syndicate Thug is not able to hit. I actually just don't roll any hits, which is glorious and, par for the course. Next up, my final Headhunter shoots at Vader. It's through an asteroid at range band 3. I actually, thanks to the focus, am able to hit him twice, which is all he had. So both shots were solid. Unfortunately, thanks to range band 3 and the asteroid, I think he has like 5 defensive dice, and he dodges those 2 shots without any problem. And I tried. I did try. So now we're back into the 6th movement phase, I believe it is, and for the most part, I'm not out of this yet, but I'm quickly exiting stage left. For the most part, my Z95, I do a K-turn with the idea that his guys were going to try to blast past me. And with Cavill and the Syndicate Thug, they're just moving up slightly because I think the Rebel guy is going to circle that asteroid and try to come back around, and I'm hoping to get some shots of opportunity against him before I get blasted off the table. But for the most part, I'm just kind of getting desperate here. But all in all, it's still been a lot of fun, and Vader is still... If I can kill Vader, it's a moral victory, and I'll take it. But here's what the table looks like after movement. So we start off the shooting phase with Vader taking a shot at my last Z95 Headhunter. He naturally hits 1, but because of the targeting computer, he's able to crit as well. I dodge the hit, but the crit hits him, and my last Z95 Headhunter goes up in a flaming ball of doom. So sad, but I guess it's all that clean living is finally catching up to my poor pirates. So the only other thing that occurs in that is Cavill shoots at Darth Vader, hits him twice, but he's able to evade, literally like it's what he was born to do. So we go into our 7th or 8th movement phase, and now I just don't even have a clue. I've got 2 Y-wings left, both are really, really hurt, so I'm just going to fly around and hope to get lucky. I got no other plans. I don't want to hit an asteroid. I don't want to hit any other ships. I'm just going to fly around and hope and pray, and that's it. And it actually goes really bad. I end up right in front of his TIE fighter things. The Rebel guys have beautiful shots at the Emperor, at the Empire, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm literally grabbing at straws. However, I'm gonna go down laser guns blazing because that's the only way we know how to be. So to start off this shooting phase, Vader takes some shots at Cavill, And hits incredibly well. I have to burn my focus just to keep him alive, but in the end, I end up taking a hit and 2 crits. And the first crit lowers my pilot skill to 0, which is super bad. And the other one would take away any veteran skills if I had them, but I don't, so it's just another damage. But Cavill is circling the drain with 1 hull point left, which actually, that's why I love the Y-Wings. They can take so much damage, but ooh, man. It's getting right down to the wire. So here's where all the luck comes in. Cavill can no longer do anything because he had to spend his focus to survive, but my Syndicate Thug has the Auto Blaster on it and a focus. So I fire at Vader. He can't evade the hits. He's only got 1 shot left, and he dies. So I'm not long for this world, but I have saved the universe because I have killed the Emperor and I have killed Darth Vader. That's right, me. Me. But yeah. I might not be at the victory party, but I'll be damned if my fleet didn't put in some real good work. So here's like our 7th or 8th movement phase, and it's quick and dirty. I'm trying to get away and use my 360 shots to just give me targets of opportunity, and unfortunately my opponents are not falling for it at all. They both come after me, no problem. Well, I guess the Rebel guys come after me pretty good. And, well, you know, I mean, I'm just going to hope that my evasion skills and my opponent's poor rolling carry me through, but it's really not looking good, especially with Tycho getting a target lock on Cavill, who's got 1 hit point left. But this is what the table looks like just before we begin shooting at each other. So we start off the shooting phase with the little Rebel Scum shooting at Cavill, and he's able to hit twice, which is all I need to do. I've only got 1 evasion and 1 hull point, so even if I evade this one, doesn't matter, and I fail, and Cavill dies. But you know what? He put in some real good work, and I have no complaints. I'm proud of the way my fleet lived and died in this battle, and with only the Syndicate Thug left, it's I've got him right where I want him. So some shots are fired, but for the most part, everybody misses or evades, which is a little frustrating. I'm out of range, so we go into our infinite movement phase again, and it's a lot shorter. Again, I'm just trying to get around the asteroid and get into range band 1 so I can use my auto blaster, or at least get someone in my forward arc. It's a little difficult right now. The other guys, they're just bouncing around each other, and the one little Rebel Scum guy is going to continue orbiting the asteroid for a little bit, because that's kind of his thing. That's his MO right now. So, yeah, it's just going to really come down to who can outfly who. So nothing happens in the shooting phase at all. The one guy, Kyle Reese or whatever, shoots at the Emperor or the Empire guy, but he's able to evade no problem. And so we go into our next movement phase, and now it's just posturing and positioning and hoping to get that shot off on whoever we can get, because that's what it's gonna come down to. It's gonna come down to who gets the lucky pot shot. So after all that movement and stuff, I got 1 shot with my Syndicate Thug into the Empire guy, and burning my focus, I'm able to get 2 hits, which I'm pretty proud of. Unfortunately, the Empire guy has absolutely no problem rolling 3 evades. So yeah, it's just the circus act. Pew, pew, pew. We're trying. Well, he's trying anyway. So with my failure, 1 more movement phase under the belt, and again, I'm just coming forward, because at this point now, it's just like, whatever, I need to keep shooting. Eventually, I'm going to get some shots through, and still possibly win the game. You know, that's what underdog stories are made of, right? But yeah, for the most part, I don't even know what my opponents are thinking anymore. I think we're all just kind of dialed out at this point, just hoping for luck to see us through. So we start off this particular shooting phase with Kyle Reese shooting at the Empire guy in the back. And the funny part is he does a hit and 2 crits. And due to the fact that he used a target lock instead of something else, I don't remember exactly what he did, he didn't roll any focus. So instead, he ends up taking a crit. And it's not a big deal. It's like veteran damage or something like that. He loses his veteran card or something. Not a huge big deal. He's not dead, but I think he's on his last hull point, which is cool. At least the Empire might go out before I do. And then next up, my Syndicate Thug shoots at him, and I proceed to miss spectacularly, which is sad. So I burn my target lock to try again, and I'm able to hit, I think, twice, which is better than nothing because I have focus. And well, he's able to evade. It's just like can't buy any more luck this game. But hey, I'm going down in a blaze of laser fire, and that's what's important. So we go into our next movement phase, and I am determined to kill the Empire guy. So I just move the Syndicate Thug straight towards him. I figure if he goes next to me, I can use my Auto Blaster to open up on him. That was my plan, and that's what this table looks like at the end of this turn. So after going through another completely useless shooting phase where we completely miss each other or evade, we go into our final movement phase. And again, I'm just hoping to kill the Empire guy or maybe take a pot shot or two at the Rebel. At this point, if I get to shoot my guns one more time, I'll be a happy guy. But it's very quick. There's only 4 ships left on the table, and the Rebel Scum definitely has the advantage. But here's what we look like at the end of this final movement phase. So we start out the shooting phase, and the Rebel Scum guy, the little blue one, shoots at my Syndicate Thug and hits him twice. I dodge one, and he still dies, and it's sad. Not to be done, though, the Rebel brown ship, little Kyrill's guy, shoots at the Emperor ship behind him because he got that 360 shot, and he's able to hit and crit, and I'm not going to make the suspense too suspenseful. He does not dodge enough. He gets that final shot off. The Emperor dies, and it is a Rebel Scum victory. But yes, the game is over, and what an epic match. And let's get to the recap, because I think that'll be fun. So in the end, it was a vicious defeat for Lord Tremendous. I got blowed up real good. I ended up losing all my ships. Sleeping Cthulhu lost all of his ships, which was the Empire player. And General Manager, our Rebel Scum, was able to only lose 2 out of his 4 ships and win the game. This was a really outstanding game. Playing a 3-way free-for-all was a lot of insane fun. There was broken alliances every single roll of the dice. Oh yeah, let's go after these guys. Oh, now we're gonna go after these guys. I bought them double cheeseburgers from McDonald's, and they still shot me down. Those ungrateful bastards. It was. This was actually a ton of fun. If you ever get a chance to have a 3-way like this, I highly suggest doing it. I was able to get the killing shot on quite a few. Jared from State Farm on the Rebel Alliance side. And then I was able to kill off the Emperor with Boba, and I got Darth Vader with my Y-Wings in the very end. So while I didn't do all the damage myself, I'm well aware of that. I'm still going home, well, I'm still going to hell, I guess, with their heads safely tucked into my saddlebags, which I'm very excited about. I killed a lot of big-name characters in this one, and I'm happy about that. Basically, I single-handedly saved the entire universe from a Sith threat. So, universe, you're welcome. Maybe one day Lord Tremendous will be known as a Jedi. We'll see. We'll see. But bottom line, I think what we can all take away from this is you never mess with the Boba or his crew. But once again, this was a really excellent game. I have 0 complaints on my performance or my dice, which is rarity for me. Just got outmaneuvered and outplayed by a couple of superior opponents, which, if you're going to lose, that's the way you want to lose, to just a superior opponent. I really enjoyed this game. I got no complaints whatsoever. I had 2 great opponents, and I'm looking forward to getting them 1v1 in rematches against both of them, hopefully. But here it is. This is going to be it for number 4 of my Star Wars X-Wing saga. This is also only ever my second video battle report. So any and all feedback I could get from you guys about this, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if I missed something. I did try changing up how I narrate so I don't feel that I was rushed in this one. I also don't feel that I missed out or left out anything. Yeah, the sound effects aren't in there, but I got some background music. I was able to narrate everything. So let me know what you think. Let me see. Let me hear what you guys all think and feel, and where your head is with it. And we'll see if we can't get these to be the most perfectest ever generic battle reports I could possibly make. But as always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints about the video or about the battle report or in life in general, whatever, this is a safe comment section. By all means, put your feelings out there. Put them in the comment section below, and I and the rest of the world will get back to you as quick as we can. But yeah, guys, thanks.